Hi, David Hood here, and this video is about Fusion Laboratory or Protocol. It's gone by different names for 2021, and my review of it, along with I do have some bonuses if you do buy through my link. But I want you to understand what it is you're buying, and I think I'm going to be able to explain it to you in this video pretty concisely, but also without leaving out important details of what it could really mean for your business to sign up for something like this. Okay, so what is it? Let's take a look. It's essentially a product about digital marketing or SEO agency business model. They provide systems and support of different kinds. Every agency is sales and service. Essentially, you can break almost everything down to that. And so they provide a lot of content on sales and on service, which is good. It makes it a complete product in a way, which is actually I think this product is newsflash or predicting the future. It's a really great deal for the price you get. It is not going to be everything that you'll ever need for your business, but no product can really promise that. And if it does, then it's very unlikely that it's true, or that there's some angles that you're still going to need to work on, even if they're kind of sort of think that they're telling the truth. And there's a big focus on systems in the course, which I really like. I think that's really important. A huge part of what a business is and what makes a business more and more valuable over time is building systems. Building systems to have your business run more and more efficiently over time, and by lower and lower skilled people, and therefore be less expensive and do more. Not quite exactly like that, but sort of like the objective that you move towards. And there's always room for improvement. Even big massive businesses that have been around for 100 years still have systems improvements that can be made. And there's an extra focus on SEO, which is my business is focused around SEO, so a lot of the service stuff is SEO, and so I think that's where a lot of the value is. But they do talk about other forms of digital marketing outside of that. I didn't really pay too much attention to it, so I'm not going to comment on it. But I believe it was some amount of social media stuff and ad stuff. But it's just not something that I'm interested in running for my business at all. So I can't really comment. If that's really important to you, then you might need to find another place to find some information on that. So this is what it looks like on the inside, at least right now. And so over the right, here's where most of the stuff is. It's not that, from a design standpoint, it's not the prettiest website in the world, but I don't care about that. Hopefully you don't. The information in here, do not underestimate it. These are some real badasses sharing their thoughts and philosophies on how to build a business and how to rank a website and stuff like that. And it's extremely valuable. You could watch all of this, virtually all of it, and it's almost all of it's going to be helpful. Unless you're super advanced, and then maybe even some of it I still think will still be helpful. And then reviewing the basics, fundamentals, and seeing it from somebody else's angle is still helpful for a business. So you're not going to be wasting your time, in my opinion, with this. So they got selling to clients, fulfilling, some software deals. Greg Morrison SEO. This is worth the price of admission right here. This is really excellent. He really gets to the point. Not that it is every possible SEO technique that you could want. That's absurd. Nobody can really. It's not really reasonable to get that. There's so much out there. But his stuff is really good, and he really knows what he's talking about. He really backs it up with actual data. And then it kind of I had to do two different screenshots here. So. And then there's sort of like, this is like the business setup. That's really useful. And they have some other information for you where you can interact with. So I think it's a really great deal, and I'm going to go a little bit more into what it is and what you get with it. But first of all, if you buy through my link, you do get my one of kind of 2.5 bonuses, I guess I'm going to say. The first one is my SEO plans, my SEO business plans for 2021, like the specifics of my personal business. You get a 10,000 foot level view of what my plans are for 2021, along with some details and context from 2020. What's my bread and butter of my business? Really identifying and amplifying that is and going deeper into that is going to be something that I think everybody should really consider. If they've had a business for a while, what really works for them. And I'm going to share what has really worked for me the most here, and what my plans are for 2021 for that. Kind of some more business philosophical content here would be, what do I think about like COVID and business and the economy? Like what has changed and what hasn't changed, or what will change Um, Not so much predicting the future as building a stable foundation that works regardless of what happens with COVID. And what are some principles and some concepts that can help you find your way there for yourself and your business. And yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a clue into some of the stuff, but it's definitely deeper than this. But I am going to be more of an SEO focus all around my business and all parts of my business. I'm going to be trying to do more and more SEO, and so that's something that that's my core competency, my core skill set, and so that's something that should always be a focus. And it never hurts to re-energize or narrow your focus, or kind of make sure that you're doing that, using the assets that you have as best you can, if you're willing to use them. Okay, so having mentors is critical, and there are several mentors in here, and really just even if you never like actually get like a one-on-one with them or on a webinar with them where they will answer your Q&A, just listening to them and having them in your brain is useful, and that is a form of mentorship. It is just kind of like reading a book. That's sort of a form of mentorship, like a personal development book. And this is what you're getting with this. And all of these people are successful in their own way, and they're all different, unique people who have been successful in different, unique ways. So there's a lot of different things that you can pick up from them as a whole, and it works together really well as well. Greg Morrison is one of my favorite people ever. He's a total badass and just like honest as can be in terms of what he really knows and what he doesn't know, and what his data is showing, what his data isn't showing. I really trust him a lot, as well as all these other guys as well. Dan Anton's a badass. His systems in there, he does a lot of the system stuff. That's really good. I liked that stuff. Eric Brief is a sales, he just is a sales machine. I doubt anyone else has as much experience talking to potential clients on the phone as Eric Brief does. Joe kind of does it all. Joe does a lot of different things. It seems like there's not any real skill set that Joe doesn't have. So, and he really gets business, I think, to a high level. Michael Tesalona is also does SEO and sales, so he's probably closest to what I have done by playing kind of both parts, being the salesperson and the technician at the same time. So, and then there's these fun sections where Eric is grilling all of them. I enjoyed that. So let's see specific sections. I like the agency setup. If you're new, if you've had a business for several years, then you might not need this. But if you don't, then this is great. Or if you're like not sure if you set it up right, then this is some good basic stuff that will be helpful. The strategy and the scripts on the sales is actually really, really valuable, I think, especially the scripts if you can fit it with what you need to do. The kind of the angle of your sales positioning, then it can be extremely valuable for you. And just even if it isn't, I guess it's still really valuable to see how somebody else does it. And there's a lot of things you can kind of pick out of it and choose and get from the system that they're suggesting from a sales standpoint. And then again, there's fulfillment. So you could kind of start an agency almost from scratch from this. So I think this is very beginner friendly, while also having some good stuff for people who are experienced. And so I purchased it and would recommend that other people purchase it. So bonus 1B, it's kind of same things, similar to bonus 1, kind of bridging my 2020 strategies with fusions, putting that in context. So kind of talking about both at the same time, like the systems focus. This is a lot of my background, which you'll see in bonus 2. It's kind of systems, efficiency, and stuff like that. And so kind of talking about the principles there. There's a little bit of a different path here of kind of having an SEO focused business versus having like a more broad digital marketing focused business. And those the principles and considerations are different. And then really a lot of this also comes down to like where do I stand and where do you stand in terms of like on the playing field of business. And it's hard to you can't stand where I'm standing. Like you can't just like suddenly be where I'm standing, right? And I can't just stand where you're standing. So that's something to really consider that I'll go over a little bit more. And then I do have a product called Max Power Productivity for I forgot it. Hold on. Max Power Productivity Program for digital marketers. And that I think is pretty timeless, like strategy and system stuff. And so I have a background in like all the games that I've played since a kid were like strategy type games, and then I was also an industrial engineer for many years. I had not many, 6.5 years, and I had a master's degree in industrial engineering. Human integrated systems was kind of the subcategory, and so a lot of I have a big background in studying systems, analyzing systems, looking at the math of systems, and applying that to another business, and then also my business. And there's a lot of kind of like productivity principles in here, I think, because you're a system. All of your work is a system, your business is a system, your life is a system, etc. I mean, it's such a broad word, but working on building that, and one of the best ways to really build it is to understand the principles of productivity, which is really, I think, I haven't really seen. There's not a lot of content like this, I don't think, out there at all, be it free or paid. There are some, like there's a Getting Things Done by David Allen, and that's good, but there's just, I feel like it just barely scratches the surface of sort of like natural economic principles of just our existence, that you can use in different situations. It doesn't always apply, but when it does, it does. Looking at it from different viewpoints and concepts and strategies and some specific situations that help you think, oh, okay, when I encounter that kind of situation again, this is actually the correct way to go, even though maybe it immediately isn't obvious, but this way is actually way better. It opens up some different opportunities that you didn't know were there. And this is also kind of like productivity for business, but also I think there's some personal stuff I think that you could potentially get out of it depending on how efficient your kind of personal systems are. Anyway, that's all I've got. Let me know if you have any questions. You can leave a comment below, or you can message me. I think it's a great deal, especially if you have an SEO business, some type of agency model that you're looking to go for. This is a really great place to start, or even to continue your education on some great ways to great ideas on building that business. And again, I want to point out the importance of having mentors, having people who have done it before, and learning from them. This is so valuable to doing anything. And even people who are experts in their field still have mentors. So don't think that, you can never be beyond having mentors. Anyway, thanks, and like this video if you liked it. Subscribe for more videos. Have a great day. Bye.